What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, aka Benny P. And I want to welcome you guys back to the channel for this special Minecraft tutorial where we are celebrating 500 subs. Yes, sirree, 500 subs. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. And keep it up, guys. You guys are killing it right now. And today we are going to be talking about this villager trading indicator light. Trading call thing. Yeah, I'll come up with a better name. Alright, so the way this works is when I step on this plate, you'll see this light goes out. That way I know I can trade with this guy. Let's go ahead and lock out this trade for Lapis. And then we know that he is not going to trade with us again until he refreshes. So I already locked out the trade for this guy, so let's step on this plate as well, and you'll see his trade's locked out as well. So now what we need to do is we need to see when these lights will turn back on. So if I set the time to sunrise like I do now, you'll see that we will be on the 3rd right now, and it's going to keep ticking up until it gets to the 7th. Like redstone away from this sunlight indicator, and when it gets to the 7th, you'll see that these guys will look down and look at their workstations and refresh their trades. So there's 2 times a day when this happens. It happens at 7 and on the way back from 11. That means when it's noon, it's going to be all the way here, and when it gets back towards the end of when it's getting dark, it's going to come back this way. And then when it hits this one again, when this one goes out again, then it will flip on this lever and it will make this one activate. So you see something just happened. These lights just activated. You see they're looking at their stations right now, and hopefully they will refresh in just a second. They may have already done it. So let's check this guy. Yes, he's refreshed his trades, and that is awesome. So what we can do now is we can trade with this guy again, and I'll show you guys on the way back in that 11th spot. When it's starting to get dark, it will refresh their trades again. So again, this guy's locked now, this guy's locked now, both lights are off, and when this hits, this turns back off here, then it will activate this dropper and push up the item, and that will indicate that we should turn this light on and that they have refreshed their trades. So I'm going to give it a few seconds here, and I'll come back and show you guys when we hit that point. Alright, this thing just went active. When it's active, it turns off this redstone torch, which runs into this sticky piston that has a redstone block on top of it and detracts it. So now this is inactive, and when this repeater turns off again, it will activate this redstone torch, activating that redstone line into the sticky piston, shoot up the redstone, and then this light will turn on again because we created a new action on this bottom one. We powered it, and it'll shoot the item up into the top one. So that's the way we're tracking what this is. So again, I'm gonna sit here and wait, and when I see it come back, I will come back to you guys and I'll show you guys this flicking back on. Alright, it started raining, which is actually kind of interesting for us to talk about here. You'll see that these guys haven't refreshed their trades yet, I don't believe. Actually, they did already refresh their trades. Okay, so they did refresh their trades right before it starts raining. But when it starts raining, that means that these guys are the time gets a little wonky, and these guys won't go as in sync with our timer here. But it's still a good way to say, okay, somewhere around this time, they're gonna refresh the trades. And that is pretty much how this works. So if you want to build this in the desert to make sure it's totally good and it never rains in the desert, that's cool too. But if you're using this in your normal survival world, you're probably going to build it wherever you're at, and that's totally fine. You can just kind of look and see when they've refreshed their trades that they have the light indicator lights on, so the refresh trade is probably refreshed, because you're going to be running around your base and then you'll see this indicator light and know that it's refreshed. So, long story short, if it's raining, the timings will be a tiny bit off. They may refresh their trades a little later than you expect, but that is totally fine. Alright, so why even have this thing here, Benny P? I know it tells me when their trades are refreshed and I can trade with them again, but how does this really help me? So, what you really want to do with this system is you would want to go here and trade with this guy, but you only want to trade 4 times, because when you trade 5 times, it locks out his trades. So if you did 1, 2, 3, 4 with this guy, and then you got off of the plate, now when your light turns back on, you can know you can trade with him 4 more times without ever driving up his prices. So this is a whole system that allows you to trade with these guys 4 times, because you know that on the 5th you're going to lock it, and then never get to that 5th trade. That way, you always have prices the same. So you see this guy's raised his prices. So if we only would have bought 4 and not the 5th one, when he refreshes now, his price will never change. So this is a good way to lock in your guys' price and allow you to get things a lot easier and not ever lock the prices and raise your emerald cost and all that kind of stuff. So, long story short, this is going to be a super awesome build for you guys. I promise you will use this in your world and you will want to know when these guys are refreshing their trades. And I don't think there's anything like this on Bedrock right now. I think I'm the first one to do a system like this. So yeah, enjoy it. And let's get into the build process. Before we start building, as you heard in the beginning of this episode, we are celebrating 500 subs as the lights turn on behind me and they refresh their trades. We are celebrating 500 subs. If you aren't subbed, go ahead and hit that sub button. Hit the bell so you never miss a video from me, aka Benny P. And that is greatly appreciated, as well as leaving a like and leaving a comment down below. That helps out more than you guys know. Let me know what you think of this trading hall and if this helped you guys in your worlds. Super excited about showing you guys how to build this, so let's get into it now. Alright, I'm going to start over here, pretty far away from where that is. Doesn't really matter, but this is where I'm going to start. And I'm going to place down our daylight sensor, and then you want to grab some kind of indicator block you can count with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then your first repeater should go at 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. So your next repeater should go right here at 11, and then you can just run a redstone line all the way across, not like that. Yeah, straight down this line just like so. And then if you'd like to, you can go ahead and add more of these spots so you can see when it's coming back, the signal. So yeah, if you want to add more out that way, I forget how many I had over here, but you can add as many as you like to see how far the signal goes. But this is all we need for us. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to put one out this way, and then we're going to add a couple more indicator blocks. And this will be important later when we add more of these, but right now it's not super important, but we'll put them there anyways. So now what we're going to want to do is put a piece of redstone there, and then I'm going to put some indicator blocks here, just like so. And you also want another piece of redstone, another piece of redstone, one redstone torch, and a block right there. Alright, now it's time to build up our dropper circuit. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a dropper on top of that block right there, and then a block here, and another block on top of that, and go ahead and drop in your dropper facing down. And you should have 2 droppers facing each other. You can go ahead and replace that block. We'll actually need that for later. And that is our first dropper circuit done. So this one's going to be a little different. We need to dig a hole because we want to go under this circuit to allow us to continue out the other way. All right, we're gonna grab our glass. We're gonna put a piece of glass here, a piece of glass there. You can go ahead and dig down this way to make it a little more accessible. And then a piece of glass right here. And then lastly, we are gonna put some solid blocks here. Not that, solid blocks. And then we're just gonna continue that this way. And our circuit should end up being one away from this. So you should have a 1 block gap here. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your redstone and you're gonna go down in a tree just like this with your glass blocks, and then run that straight into that block. Now what you're gonna wanna do is grab yourself a redstone torch, just like so. Pop that on there, and then we're gonna run another redstone line right here. So put 1 block there, and then grab yourself a sticky piston, just like so, and a redstone block. Throw that sticky piston here with a redstone block on top. I'm not sure that's how that's supposed to work. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah, I did mess this up. So remove that, move all this down by 1 block. So what you're gonna wanna do is place a block there, and then you're gonna put your sticky piston there with a redstone block on top, a torch, and then this is gonna have to go 1 further down, like I do on screen here. Just make it 1 further down, and then your redstone torch will go right here. But you're gonna run that line straight into that, which will turn off that redstone torch, and then this will be deactivated. So that is that whole circuit done. Now we can put in our droppers. So just place a block right there, and then grab your droppers and place those right on top of that block, just like so. You're gonna want 1 pointing straight up, and then a couple temporary blocks here, and then 1 pointing straight down into that other dropper, just like so. And that circuit is all done. So that's a lot of the redstone done right there, guys. All right, so go ahead and put yourself a couple of blocks just like I do on screen, and you're gonna make this little kind of U shape, and I don't believe it needs to be that wide. This should suffice. Now you're gonna put a repeater into this one, a repeater into that one, and then run your redstone line just like so. Then go ahead and put 2 blocks here, and then break down and put 2 more blocks at ground level. Now you can run your redstone line straight down this way. And this is gonna be for our turning off of the lamps. So when you step on the plate, it will turn off the lamps, and this is the line that's gonna do that. So let's go ahead and continue working on the turning on circuit. So what you're gonna need now is 2 blocks there with 2 redstone comparators. You're gonna put 1 here and 1 right here, and then 2 blocks in front of those comparators like so. You don't have to have a block under here, it's totally not necessary. And then you can just plop a repeater right here on each one of those. All right, this is an OR gate, so we need to connect up this little redstone line here. And this is gonna say if this one is on or this one is on, turn this redstone line on. So what we're gonna do is this right here, and then 1 block there, and then 2 blocks up here, and we can run our redstone line straight up, and then our actual indicator light is gonna be right on the front of this. Right on the front of this redstone line, just like so, and that looks pretty good. All right, now we need to dig under this here. So place a block there, and I believe we need to go 1 lower, place a block there, and then just continue this all the way down as far as you can, breaking these blocks and placing them back in. So we can place blocks there, there, and there. And then this is where our guy's gonna stand. This is where his workstation is gonna be. I'm just gonna go ahead and build out this floor here and pretend like we're not building on the edge of a cave. Yeah, just pretend this is all floor. And then our indicator, like our pressure plate, is gonna go right here. So actually what we can do is we can just go straight this way, And you should see that we'll have a straight line like this. Of course, you're not going to have this open area because you're going to be building it probably in a solid place. And then just run your redstone line straight under that block, and then come to this side and fill in the rest of the redstone to make sure it links all the way up to there. Now what you'll see is when we turn on this lamp, hold on one sec. If we do this here to turn on the lamp, oh, we gotta add items into here. Okay, that's pretty much your redstone part done. And now what you need to do is you need to add some items into the bottom of your dropper. First off, let me get this water, rain, and sunlight back. All right, I'm gonna throw one item into here. Doesn't matter what item, and it shouldn't be two, only one. And then one item into the bottom of this other dropper, just like you see on my screen. Of course, don't add two like I did. One item there. And you can see that we are ticking away here towards our repeater. Once that repeater hits, we should see this light flick on. That way we will know that our thing is working here, our redstone. So only this side should activate, but it should turn on the lamp either way. So let's see when this redstone hits that our lamp turns on. Boom, there we go. Our OR gate fires, our lamp turns on. That is totally awesome. So now what I want to test is I want to grab our pressure plate. This would be a stone pressure plate. Put it right on top of that. And now when we step on this pressure plate, it should activate this line and turn off the lamp. Yep, that works perfect. All right, so we know so far that our little contraption here is working. We're not too sure about this side yet, but when we come back, we will see if it activates or not. So let's give it a little time to work. And while it's working, we can go ahead and start building the rest of our little encasing area here for our villager. And also, you're gonna want to put your bed somewhere where they can't get to it to sleep. And what I like to do is actually break this redstone for a second, put the bed there, and then you can break that block again and add back in your redstone. Don't forget to do that piece or your lamp won't work. Okay, so now we have that section there pretty much ready to go. So here's where your rail and minecart will come into handy. So you are going to want to place one here, one there, and one there, and then temporarily one in here, and you can get rid of that. Now what you're going to want to do is just throw your minecart there, and then I'm just going to take a villager out of villager egg because I'm in creative and I can. So throw that guy straight in there, and then we can push him all the way into his spot, get rid of those two things. And if you want to refresh your villager, you may want to have like a half slab or an oak trapdoor, something to keep this guy in place. So you're going to want to put that right, sorry, put that, nope, not there either, right there. That way when you break this, he can't run away and he'll stay in his little pod there, but you can close him up if you like. So maybe that's the best way to do it. You can put a trapdoor right there, and then you can just throw his, you got to kind of push him back and then throw his workstation right there. He should connect any second and he will become a Celic, and now you can trade with him. So right now that is pretty much it. What you need to do also is probably put a trapdoor here, just so you don't run across this trapdoor, this pressure plate anytime and accidentally activate it. That way you know exactly when you've created trades and when you haven't done trades. So I put that trapdoor there just to make sure that I don't ever run over this accidentally, or no animals or entities or whatever you have in your area run over those. So let's make sure that when it comes back and this repeater turns off, that our system turns the light back on. Once we do that, we know that this system is totally working, and you will have a 100% working villager trading indicator. And then you will know exactly when they refresh their trades. So let's wait until that turns off, and then I'll come back to you guys when that's done. You may also want to go ahead and trade with this guy to make sure that he is refreshing his trades. So go ahead and trade with him, and then when this flips over to off, we should see that he is refresh trades. He should have refresh trades. So let's see when this happens. Alright, the light has just activated. Looks like he's refreshing his trade, so let's let him finish that. Looks like he just finished. Now, again, we can step here, and we can see that his trades have been refreshed. So now we can trade with him again, and your system is totally done, guys. That's all there is to it. But what if you want to add another one of these? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break out this area here and continue down a little section like this. And then what you're going to want to do is grab yourself a repeater and throw your repeater right here. And you should see that this line's off right now, so this repeater should be off, and it is. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to continue this out this way a little ways, and then we'll see what to do with that in a second. But first, let's go up here. So what we've done is we've already started our next part here, because we want to go one over right here, and then we want to make sure that there's at least one block gap in between our next build. So then of course this needs a 2-block gap, so we'll put actually that's where our guy will be standing right here, and then 2 up here, and then let's make sure that none of this redstone is going to run into each other. And it will, so we need to actually go one further than that over. Let me grab my glass. I just broke that grass. Sorry, guys. And then, yeah, so we need our guy to actually stand right here, because we want to have enough room. So you'll have to put 3 blocks space in between each of these modules. We can build up 2 high there, and then we can start building our way backwards here. So what we'll do is we'll just put in the blocks we need. We know we're going to need a block here, and then temporary block there, you can get rid of those, and then a block right here, and then our droppers are going to go here, so we'll put in some solid blocks there to put our droppers on. Let me get this back to day. Alright, so droppers are going to go on top of here, so grab your droppers again, and put 1 dropper facing this way, straight up, and then another dropper facing straight up, just like so. And now we can put in our temporary blocks here and temporary blocks right here, and then we can break down to make it a little easier to put this block on. Now just break those 2, put a dropper facing straight down, another dropper facing straight down, and now we are ready to put in the next part of our redstone. So what we're going to want here is to replace those with some indicator blocks, just like I do here. And then we can place another block right there, and we're actually going to do this opposite this time. So this time we're going to put the straight one in like this on this first one here. It really doesn't matter for this system, you can put it on either side. So to make the redstone a little easier, we're going to put it right there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put our other repeater right here, just like I do on my screen. And then what you're going to want to do is put in your sticky piston. So grab your sticky piston and your redstone block like I do on screen. Put your sticky piston here and your redstone block right there. And we're going to need some blocks going into this. And you can see we've already started this a little bit. So what we're going to do is have a block there and a block there with a redstone torch and a redstone dust right there, and then run your redstone dust all the way to this repeater. You should see that turns off that torch. We can actually break these out if we want a little more room in here. And then you'll see that when this torch, when the timer comes back like it should, and this turns off, both those torches will turn on and activate the droppers. Now we need to put in our circuit to turn the light on and off. So now what we need to do is grab a comparator, and then I'm also going to grab, yeah, that should be all we need. So put comparators right here again, repeaters here, just like so, and then run your redstone straight up, and then you're going to want to put a solid block here. Actually, leave this blank here for now, and we will put solid block here and a solid block there for now. and we're just going to place in our bed. Now we can put our indicator light here. So grab your indicator light, place that on the front of that block. You can get rid of this block and place down your redstone. So that is the activation circuit done. Now we need to do the deactivation circuit. So again, make this little U shape just like so. Perfect. And then put in a repeater here and a repeater here. None of the repeaters in the system should have any ticks on them. They should be totally default. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build down from that. So we're going to put some solid blocks here, just like so, and then 2 down from there, and then lay in your redstone just like I do on screen. And then of course we're going to have to tower it down. So tower down to this level here, put in your solid blocks, and then go ahead and start running the redstone signal down this way. So again, we're just going to break out here. I'll have to replace that block there, but we're just going to continue breaking this way just like I do on screen. Of course, replace that right there, and then we're going to put in the redstone as far as we can see, and then we're going to come to the front. This is going to be where the workstation will stand, and then the repeater, or sorry, the pressure plate will be right there. So we will have to break down to find our line that we've been working on, and break down one more so we can see what's going on here. And then we're just going to place in our line just like that, put a block right there, close that up, and now if we grab our pressure plate, we should see that that pressure plate should then activate that line, and it does. And that is pretty much the system done. Don't forget to put 1 item in each of these droppers, just like so. And then another item here, just like so. Boom, perfect. Now that system is totally done. Now we should have 2 totally working systems. Of course, this guy's trade is already refreshed. But now what we're going to want to do is we're going to put in our next guy. And similar to what we did before, I'll get my workstation ready, and let's grab our rails and our villager spawner and then our cart. And what we're going to do again is this little L shape just like that. Get rid of that one. Throw yourself a minecart, get a villager in it, and then push him into his spot just like we do on screen. Of course, we can remove these now. We can put in his workstation, and you probably want to put actually before you put in his workstation, get rid of that, but temporarily we'll put it there, and we'll put a trapdoor on top, and then we can get rid of his cart and then add back in the workstation. You should see he changes. Boom, perfect. And now your system is pretty much done. Of course, you want to grab your trapdoor and put it on top of that so you don't accidentally run over that. And that is it. 2 perfectly working, and you continue this out forever as long as you want. As many modules of this as you want, you can continue this. And then I'm going to just show you guys that both of these are working. So let's clear the weather here, and let's set the time to sunrise. And we should see when we hit that 7th one that actually both lights will turn on now, because when you do the time reset, it actually turns that off and turns on the circuits to turn the lights on. So what we want to do now is, that was totally expected, but what we want to do now is just turn these lights back off and make sure that they turn on at the right timing. We can even go ahead and trade with these guys to double check. Trade with this guy. Let's get some redstone here, and they are both totally locked. And then when we get to the 7th one right here, we should see that flip on, and then both indicators lights should come on, and then both traders should have refresh trades. So we're almost there, I think. All right, there we go. Now you can see they are refreshing their trades. They're looking at their trades right now. As soon as they look up, they'll have refresh trades, and that may have already happened. I may have missed it. Let's check and see. Yes, this guy's refreshed, and that guy's refreshed. And then you can trade and continue this forever and ever and ever, guys, and this system will always work. Again, if it rains, the system will be a tiny bit off, but it still works pretty well. So that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you so much for 500 subs. I hope this helps you guys. And leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know how I did. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? You made it all the way to this video. You might as well hit that subscribe button, and you might as well hit that bell. So I'll see you guys next time in the next Minecraft tutorial. Bye!